My teaching philosophy has always centered around one fundamental notion. Developing a deeper understanding of the natural world is a fun and joyful experience. I want my students to embrace their curiosity by seeking connections between the material and their personal experiences. This is especially true in anatomy and physiology class. As I tell them at the beginning of the year, this class is relevant to literally everyone, because even if you don't want to go study the human body, you are the owner of one. In my class, I have utilized as many tactile methods of engaging with the subject matter as possible. In anatomy, students would trace the muscle patterns on their own bodies with construction paper and then apply them to the skeleton model. This gives them the direct perspective that can then be brought to life with a physiology approach. Digital resources have been crucial in this process, but for optimum learning, the connection between anatomical structure and physiology has to be dynamic. Dissections continue to be a useful mechanism for students to visualize and encounter anatomical parts directly, but it is still a static representation of a living thing. Dissections are a vital part of the anatomy learning process, but that being said, virtual labs can, in this respect, sometimes be superior to dissections, because the specimen or subject can be functional and moving. Instead of just viewing the parts of the body, students can observe digestion in action, the forming of a blood clot, or the cramping of a muscle. 3D virtual anatomy apps have been a valuable resource in this respect, especially those which can be altered and manipulated by students in real time. A major project I assign students is the study of the physiology of specific systems of choice. This happens once they have learned the anatomy of those systems. Using the 3D apps, they describe each step of a process by slowing down the motion and action of the subject in the app. The stages of a heartbeat, for example, can be visualized from all angles and even adjusted or manipulated to account for a defect. The fun element really comes into play with the use of virtual reality. Students take a tour through anatomical systems in the style of Magic School Bus, now viewing the process from the inside as a kind of passenger. Virtual reality puts each of the pieces together into the most dynamic experience possible. During their VR experiences, I challenge students to complete their tour of systems with at least 3 questions about how the different systems connect to each other. For example, the role of gas pressure in the bloodstream as an element of both the respiratory and cardiovascular systems. These are just a few of the methods I utilize to bring students excitement, curiosity, and a vivid experience into the science classroom.